together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, just me today, as we have not a huge card today. 7 games in the NBA, 5 in the NHL. So not a day off, but I mean, a little bit of a lighter slate. So that's always nice to be able to dive in deeper. I've moved on to 1 game so far. Did a free pick video for it last night. Touched on the Dallas Stars LA Kings game, which will be the last game we go over on the show. So that's the only action I have coming into this card. I will be adding some in the NBA as well. But quick recap over yesterday before we get into today's games. Profitable day for me, up 2.47 units. NBA split out, went 2-2. Cash with the Dallas Mavericks. How about this? They went outright against those Boston Celtics, 127-120. So the plus 10. They said leave the points at the door. We're going to win that game outright, which was rather impressive to see. And then after that, it was not as good. I mean, went 1-2. The remaining of the nights went 2-2 in the NBA. Orlando plus 7.5. I believe they were keeping it close for a while. They won the first quarter, then they lost the second and third quarter pretty bad. Then it was a runaway for Denver there. Portland continues to get the job done. They beat the Sacramento Kings last night 108-102. So that was a nice little winner there. And ended the night off with the Clippers -5. That was really frustrating. The Clippers were up 20 at the end of the first quarter. And then they lost the first half. That's shocking. And then they end up losing the game outright. So that was super fun there. Hockey went 4-2 for me yesterday. Doubled up on that Lightning game, won both of them. Lightning team total over, or not team total over. Lightning -1 and the full game over. The Lightning basically almost hit the over by themselves. A 5-1 win over those Ottawa Senators. And the over 5.5 gets there as well. I cashed with the Wild at plus 165. I'm glad I added that instead of the team total over for Minnesota, because they win 2-1. So nice little winner, a winner there on the plus 165. Loser on the over 5.5 -110. No big deal there. Colorado and Calgary over 5.5. A nice winner there. 4-2 Avalanche win. The Kraken to end the night, though, did not get the job done. A 3-1 loss against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So overall, profitable day yesterday. I ended up posting my card on Twitter because you guys got to 15 likes / reposts. I'm going to do the same thing today, but I'm going to bump it up to 20 because that was smashed in like 8 minutes flat. So appreciate everybody who did interact with that post. I will be doing the same thing here, and I'm going to bump it up to 20. So let me quickly post that out. Here we go. Let's try this again. Smashed it yesterday. Bumping it up today. If this post gets 20 likes / reposts, I will post my full NHL and NBA card for today. Went 6-4 plus 2.47 units yesterday. All right, cool. So there's that. But we'll head over to the chat, and then we will get into today's card. And as always, Supness, Lex, what's going on? Let's put, there we go. There we go. All right. What's good, Isaacs? What's good? And hey, the Mavericks did win. How about that? Mavericks outright. I had the +10. And, me a couple years ago would have had money line, but I don't bet like that as much because I noticed plenty of times where my profits were getting zapped because I would be making half a unit on a game instead of a full unit because they would cover but not win. So fun times there. Let's get into today's card where we have three double-digit favorites, and the smallest favorite on today's card is 4.5 points. So we have I don't want to call it significant favorites today, but I mean, yes, we have some significant favorites today. And we'll start with a 10.5-point road favorite with the San Antonio Spurs. They're in Charlotte to take on the Hornets. Something to keep in mind is we just had the trade deadline yesterday, so tread carefully. The next couple days, I'm going to be really treading lightly in the NBA the next couple days, just because all the moves went down, and then we have the All-Star break in a couple days as well. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. A lot going down right now, so be careful if you're going to be betting high volume in the NBA and the NHL, because the NHL also is heading into Four Nations there in a couple days. So we'll have a few days off kind of there where we'll probably do some MLB futures and stuff along those lines. Let's get into it, though. We have the San Antonio Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets. 10.5-point favorites are the Spurs, total 228. Line opened up at a 9. It's now a 10.5. So we do have a move towards these San Antonio Spurs. Line opened up 228. Now it's still a 228. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here. 47% of the tickets, 51% of cash on the Hornets. Line's moving towards the Spurs. So kind of interesting watching the line move towards the Spurs like that, even though we know that it's about a 50-50 split when it comes to the tickets and cash. 79% of tickets, 83% of cash is on the over. The line's really not moving too much. We do know that the Charlotte Hornets have been a really good under team this year to 18, 29, and 1 to the under. Spurs are 27 and 21 to the over. So that's something to keep in mind as well. We have the Hornets coming in on 6 straight losses and 8 of their last 9. Their only win was that blowout win against the New Orleans Pelicans. They still have a few games before the All-Star break. They have 3 games after this. It's a road trip. This is the last game of a 9-game homestand where they played Portland, New Orleans, the Lakers, the Nets, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Wizards, and the Bucks. So they did have a decent amount of they've had a lot of home games, and they've lost basically all of them. And then they'll hit the road. They'll play Detroit, Brooklyn, and Orlando after this. And also San Antonio has 3 more road games at the end of this before they head to the All-Star break. They get Orlando, Washington, and Boston there. Not a game I'm interested in, really. If I'm playing, I'm laying, I guess. But I don't like laying double digits on the road, especially with a team like the Spurs. They don't seem like that team that I would want to trust. And I did trust them last game with a team total over. I did not trust them with the spread. They did not cover, but they got the team total over. Anyways, pass for this game for me. I'm gonna be hard pressed to find plays right now. So there we go. I feel you. Fun times, good times for sure. Oh, I wish I bet it. Yeah, right. Hey, Brad's back. What's good, Brad? But we'll continue on. Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Washington Wizards. Cavaliers 17-point road favorites. So we're bumping it up a little bit here. Line opened up at a 17.5. It's now a 17. Line opened up to 34.5. It's now a 236. We do have a move towards the Wizards. We have a move towards the over. We do have 60% of tickets and 54% of cash on the Wizards. The line's moving towards them. So the bets are coming in saying this is too many points. And damn, does it really feel like too many points? But the trade-off with that is you have to bet the Wizards. Not anything I am like gung-ho about doing. So that's something to keep in mind. And we have 71% of tickets, 72% of cash coming in on the over, line moving towards it. The Red Hot Wizards have won 3 games in a row, all on the road. They beat Minnesota as 11.5-point dogs. They beat Charlotte as 4.5-point dogs. And they beat the Nets as 5.5-point dogs. I'm interested in placing my first wager on the Wizards all season long today. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're coming in off of a nice win against the Detroit Pistons. And if I want to lay this many points on the road, I need a really good reason why. And stepping in front of what is now a red-hot Washington Wizards team is not appealing for me, especially at this number. And at 17.5, I'm going to place my first wager on the Washington Wizards all season long today. So I'm going to shop around real quick. Let me find the best available number. I'm seeing 17.5s, and I will pull the trigger on that there. 17.5 ESPN bet -105 Washington Wizards. That's just a ridiculous number, especially for a home team. You usually see those numbers for road teams, the plus 17.5, if there are this big of favorites. So I'm going to take a shot at the Wizards to cover this monstrous number. Do I think they're going to win outright? No. But if you like that, I'm seeing according to BetStamp plus 1350 on Caesars. Other books are holding anywhere between plus 1,000 to plus 1,100 is what I'm seeing for the Wizards there. So Washington plus 17.5 -105 ESPN bet for me. UA for MLB. What do you mean? Well, we'll continue on. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. We have the Bucks 5.5-point road favorites with a total of 242.5. Let's take a look at the line history in this game here, where this line opened up with the Bucks as 5.5-point favorites, got all the way up to a 6.5, and now it's back to a 5.5. Line opened up 238, it's now 242.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow on this one here. 50% of the tickets, 51% of cash on the Bucks. So the line not moving kind of makes sense. So that's something. So the no line move does make sense there. Now looking at the cash flow, 66% of the tickets, 69% of the cash on the over in this spot here. Don't remember if this is moved up or down or not. Let me go relook at that, where it opened up at a 238, it's now 242.5. So we do have a move towards the over here in this one. We have Atlanta coming in off of a loss against the San Antonio Spurs. They did cover as 4-point dogs. They have been playing some close games. They're 1-5 in their last 1-5 in their last 6 games. However, they are 5-1 ATS. So this has been a Atlanta Hawks team that's been covering numbers as of late. Even though they have not been winning games as of late. And we have the Milwaukee Bucks, who are coming in off of a win, but they did not cover as 10.5-point favorites against Charlotte. Previous to that, they had lost 4 in a row to Oklahoma City, Memphis, San Antonio, and Portland. So this is a Bucks team that I don't trust as a road favorite. I kind of want to take a look real quick. And we have time because it's not a huge card. I want to take a look what the Bucks numbers are as a favorite ATS and a road favorite ATS. Because I have a feeling those are both negative. This Bucks team as a favorite and a road favorite. So let me take a look real quick. As a favorite this year, the Milwaukee Bucks are 17-20-1. And as a away favorites, that's probably even worse. Thank you. As an away favorite, Milwaukee is 5-9. So they've not been a good favorite. They've not been a good road favorite this year. I'm interested in Atlanta at this number. And I think I want to take the points with them here in this one. I want to look for some I don't want to seek out dogs like that, but I'm definitely going to look for where I see there to be value. And even though Atlanta's losing basketball games, they're covering spreads. So I'm going to go ahead plus 5.5, minus 110 on Bet365 or Fanatics. Choose your poison there, or choose your book there. I'm going to be on the Atlanta Hawks here against the Milwaukee Bucks. Are you supposed to? I don't know. Welcome back, Brad. We'll continue on here where we have the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets. Minus 6 for the Miami Heat, total of 210.5. Obviously, Miami Heat no longer have Jimmy Butler. He was part of the trade there. There was a million trades yesterday. It was kind of crazy. It felt like I was constantly seeing trades on my phone. But this line opened up at a 7. It's down to a 6. So we do have a move towards Brooklyn in this game. Line opened up at a 2.11, and it's down to a 210.5. So we'll move towards the under here as well. 59% of tickets, 58% of cash is on the Heat. The line's moving towards them at the very least. No, it's moving against them. I forgot. No, it's moving towards the Nets, which makes the Nets kind of appealing today as well. Kind of some dogs grading out some pretty well in the market here, which is kind of interesting to see. And then 84% tickets, 88% of the cash is on the over here as well. Miami is, once again, I think, kind of similar to Milwaukee. I don't trust them as a favorite. I don't trust them as a road favorite. And I feel like I should get back up the numbers that because I X'd out of the. There we go. I want to see what their numbers are as an away favorite this season. Miami, one of the worst as an away favorite this year, 3-8 ATS. What about just as a favorite in general? So I have a feeling Miami has been one of those teams that just have not covered as has just not done well as a favorite in general. And they are 12-16 as a favorite overall, so they're a better home favorite than road favorite for those who pay attention to that. Miami is coming in off of a win against the Philadelphia 76ers in their last game, 108-101, which they are on a 3. This is their 4th game of the road trip. They have 3 more games before they head to the All-Star break. They get Dallas, Oklahoma City, Boston, Oklahoma City, and Dallas. They get a home game against Boston next game, and they get a game against the lowly Nets in this one here, who are coming in off of a loss against the Washington Wizards. So kind of interesting to see that. Kind of makes me want to back the Nets in this spot with them coming in off of that embarrassing loss against the Wizards in the last game. You think that maybe this could be a step-up spot. Miami doesn't cover on the road, especially as a road favorite. I just think 6.5 is a little bit much in this game. And I can get 6.5 on 2 spots. It's minus 120 on ESPN Bet. Where I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go grab it real quick is on BetMGM. It's minus 115 for plus 6.5 for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to jump on them as well. So it looks like a little bit of a dog day here for me today. And I'm going to be on Brooklyn here plus the 6.5 at minus 115. Any thoughts for Rockets? Now is MA. Are they playing today? I don't think they're playing today. They're not playing today. What's good, Nicholas Handy? What's good? Let's continue on. We have 3 games remaining on the card. Philadelphia 76ers and Detroit Pistons. 4.5-point favorites are the Sixers, total of 226 in this game here. Line opened up at a 2. It's now a 4.5 for the 76ers. So we do have a decent move towards them. Line opened up 223.5. It's now a 226. A move towards the over in this game as well. 50% of tickets, 53% of the cash is on the over. On the Sixers in this game. The line is moving towards them. 82% of tickets, 86% of the cash on the over in this one as well. Not a game I was particularly interested in. The Sixers kind of, definitely do not want to lay the points with the Sixers here in this game, but Well, the way the market's moving kind of tells me that they are probably the more of the side. The Pistons have played pretty well against these. My bad. The Sixers have played well against the Pistons in the past year. The Sixers are coming in off of a loss. So are the Pistons, though. Back-to-back losses. They played Cleveland tough, though. In their last game, they were 3.5-point dogs. They covered in 118 to 115 win. That was the game. That was the buzzer beater at the end for Cleveland for them to win. No interest in this one here whatsoever. This one's a simple pass. They're playing tomorrow. They're playing Dallas. Probably I would lean Houston at the second, but I haven't even looked. I don't look at NBA until the day of, sometimes the night before. Toronto Raptors and the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have the Thunder 19.5-point favorites in this game. Total of 230.5. That is, I wonder if this is the highest number we've seen all year for a favorite, which is kind of interesting there. A big favorite are the Oklahoma City Thunder. On the flip side, we have 61% of tickets, 50% of cash is on the Raptors in this one here, saying that this is too many points, which kind of makes sense. This is a lot of freaking points to be laying. But with that being said, the Thunder do not care. They are running through teams right now. So I understand the line being the way it is. 84% of tickets, 78% of cash on the over here as well. The Thunder have won 3 games in a row, 144 to 110, 125 to 96, 140 to 109. Their closest game was a 29-point victory in the last 3. I understand why the Thunder are laying this many points. And I am not going to bet against the Thunder in this spot because this feels like another spot where they play a bad team and they go ahead and kill them. I see this game as another blowout for the Thunder, probably. If I'm playing, I'm laying. Looks like the sharp money is on OKC in this game. But I'm not laying 19.5 points ever. So pass. Or at least in the NBA. I'll lay more than that in the end in college basketball, though. Yes, what's good? Nathan Cerna. We'll continue on. Final NBA game on the card. We have the Phoenix Suns taking on the Utah Jazz. We have the Suns as 8.5-point favorites, total 232.5. Line opened up 7.5. It's now an 8.5 for the Suns. Line opened up 231.5. It's now 232.5. So move towards the over, which makes sense. 86% of tickets, 89% of cash on said over. 78% of tickets, 67% of tickets, 68% of the cash on the Suns. The line is at least moving towards the Suns for those who want to back them. And for me, this is another pass for me in this game. We have Phoenix, who is coming in off of that blowout loss in their last game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They lost about 140 to 109. So I can understand this being a bounce back game here. I'm frozen. Am I frozen? There we go. There we go. Yeah, I can see this as a nice bounce back spot for the Phoenix Suns after the embarrassing loss. It's maybe a smash and grab for the Phoenix Suns where you double up on them. They're off the embarrassing loss in their last game. They've dominated the Utah Jazz. They've lost 3 in a row. So their first game back after a 4-game road trip. Which brought them Golden State, Portland, and OKC. So not a huge road trip there. And Utah, they're hitting the road. They're coming in off of that win, that big comeback win against Golden State. I am gonna end my card with the Phoenix Suns in this game. I'm gonna lay the points with them in this one, which is an 8.5 minus 115 over on ESPN Bet. That'll be the way I'll conclude my card today is with the Phoenix Suns. I think this is a smash and grab spot, and I think you can potentially make the argument that now I wish it wasn't. It's 4.5 minus 120 on Fanatics. I'm going to double up on the Phoenix Suns. First half and full game. Minus 4.5 minus 120 Fanatics for the first half. Minus 8.5 minus 115 ESPN full game. I see this as a smash and grab spot for the Phoenix Suns. Line's moving towards them. They're not overly public. They're coming in off of the embarrassing loss. They're back at home. They have an opponent that they can take out their anger on. The Utah Jazz, not one of the better teams in the league. So I'm gonna end up doubling up on the Phoenix Suns in this game here. So let me go ahead and this first half spread. Phoenix Suns minus 4.5, minus 120. There we go. All right. So that'll be my NBA card today. 5 games on the NBA, or 5 plays in the NBA today. 3 dogs and a double up on the last favorite of the night. So there is that. You guys are so far at 10 for likes, quotes, and reposts. So there we go. So yeah, 5 plays in the NBA for today. We'll head into the NHL in a second here. And there we go. The NHL card sucks today. It was really tough to find a spot that I wanted to do a free pick video on. Maybe talking out the games out loud will maybe land me on an additional spot or 2. But it was really tough to find anything I liked in today's games. Other than I played the over 5.5, Dallas and LA to end the card. But let's get into it here. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins traveling to New York to take on the Rangers. The Rangers are minus 195 favorites with a total of 6. This has been a kind of a Rangers, not dominated matchup lately, but yeah, kind of dominated. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings. The New York Rangers. The Rangers coming off of back-to-back wins. They win 4-2 against Vegas, 3-2 against Boston, which previous to that they had lost 3 games in a row against Boston, Carolina, Colorado. No shame in any of those. On the flip side, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they've kind of been struggling. The now 7th place, they're moving on up. 7th place now. They are no longer in last. That is the Philadelphia Flyers. We have the Penguins off of a shootout loss in their last game. That was back on the 4th against New Jersey, which snapped a 2-game winning streak for these New Jersey or for the Pittsburgh Penguins. My projections here in this game is at a 6.33. So I do think this 6 number is correct. And I do have the Rangers as a favorite. I have them along the lines of 170. So I don't really see a value in either side in this game either. Today's just a day of big favorites that one of these dogs are going to win today, maybe 2, but I just don't know which one yet. So no action here for me in this first game at all. I'm getting a new coach. There you go. No way you can take Jets. What? Heat to win by 14. Who are the Heat playing? Oh, the Nets. Okay. I got you. I'm seeing Crosby day to day. There you go. What's your X handle? Nicholas _ Earle. Nicholas _ Earle. I know I can. There you go. I just put it in the chat there. Did it not? Okay, it did. It did work. Cool. Rangers team total over. All right. I follow Earle Sports Bets, but last post was 22 hours ago. Yeah. No, it's my personal account. Panarin goal and assist. Yeah. And that's my Twitter right there. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter. We'll move on. The New York Islanders taking on the Winnipeg Jets. We have the Jets minus 195 favorites with a total of 5.5 in this game. Sorokin expected as usual for the last 2 games here, or for the next 2 games against the Islanders, or for the Islanders. They do get the Minnesota Wild tomorrow before they head to the Four Nations break. So 2 games remaining for them. On the Winnipeg side, they are coming in playing really well. This, however, is their final game until the Four Nations face-offs. Their next game is on February the 22nd against the St. Louis Blues. They're coming in winning 7 in a row, including a shutout win against the Carolina Hurricanes in their last game. Could this be one of those exhale type of moments for the Winnipeg Jets? Is one thing you got to wonder here. Is maybe they will overlook the Islanders, and the Islanders are a live dog in this game. Maybe. I have this game projected for the Jets to be a favorite in this one, around minus 165, minus 170 range. So once again, another game I really just don't see much value on. I have this game projected for 5.82 goals. So for me, I guess it's slightly towards an over, but not enough for me to pull a trigger at all. And then for the sidewise, it'd be dog or pass. But not a game I feel the need to get involved with. I will be watching this because I like to watch the Islanders. But I will not be placing a wager on this game. It would be Isles or nothing would be the way I would look at this game, especially with the way the Islanders are playing as of late at this number. But I don't think the risk reward is quite there yet for me. Nets. Yep. While the Jets are 2-8 their last 10 against the Islanders. Yes, they are. This has been a team that the Islanders like to play. Isles team total over 2.5. Wow, Isles line moving down plus 172 to plus 156. Wow, like it. Under. With the way Sorokin's been playing, the way that this Islanders team has been playing, I won't talk anybody off of an under. Let's move on. We have the Nashville Predators and the Chicago Blackhawks. This is a game I might add here in this one. We have the Preds minus 200 road favorites with a total of 6 in this game. My numbers have this game around a 6.62. So I do see this game projecting a little bit for a nice over in this game, projecting it for closer towards a 6.5 rather than a 6. And I have this game projected for the Preds to be a favorite in this one around minus 180. So I think once again, the line's about right in this game. And the one thing I maybe will be looking at is the over in this one here. And the question is, do we see enough offense from the Chicago Blackhawks? Because that's one thing we've seen is that the Blackhawks, they're giving up 3.875 expected goals against per game over the last 10. Could this be a spot where Chicago is looking to go into the break? They have one more game tomorrow against St. Louis before they head into the break. Nashville gets a game against Buffalo tomorrow before they head into the break there. They've lost 5 in a row, the Nashville Predators, so laying minus 200 on the road, not particularly interested in that. They've also struggled offensively during this, which kind of surprises me with the advanced metrics they're putting up, that they're struggling offensively the way they are. I lean over the total in this game if I'm betting anything. And the Chicago team defensively has kind of struggled a little bit. And I could see this game being 5-2 Nashville. This feels like a game Nashville should take care of business, but trusting the Nashville Predators is really, really difficult right now. Their team total over is 3.5 minus 110. I kind of want a little bit more meat on the bone if I'm taking that. What's the Blackhawks team total? Blackhawks team total is 2.5 minus 110 on FanDuel. I have them projected for 2.8 goals. Yeah, so I can kind of see maybe a slight value on that. But overall, not a game I'll probably get involved with. Other than I want to take one more look here. We're seeing more 6.5s than we are 5.5s. Okay, kind of want to move on. I'm going to move on the over 6 in this game here in this one at minus 115, bet 365. I see some value here on the over 6. So give me over 6 here, Nashville and Chicago. My first name is Josh Allen, MVP. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it was going to go to Lamar Jackson. I did. But it is what it is. Bum fight. Preds team total over 3.5. Parlay the Preds money line. Rangers Preds money line parlay plus 135. All right, that's one way to go at it. I prefer the over 6 in this game. But we'll head on to the next game here. Oh wow, Cappertek's giving me a 6.5 for this game, but it's plus money at least. Move on. Second to last game on the card. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Minus 195 for the Oilers. Total 5.5 in this game here. I need to just quickly punch in these numbers because the Avalanche played last night. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. But they took care of business. And we're getting the Avalanche at a really nice number in this game. At a decent dog price. And I think this is the dog I want to take a shot with today. And yes, I'm aware the Avalanche is the second half of a back-to-back for them. And it'll probably be Wedgwood in net. I have this game projected at a 6, so the 5.5. Seeing a 5.5. Oh, it's 6.5. Yeah, I know I typed that in wrong. It's 6.5. I was going to say seeing a 5.5 in a Oilers game is kind of interesting there. No, it's 6.5, especially against the Avalanche. On a back-to-back. My numbers have the Oilers around minus 130, minus 135, but that doesn't really account for the back-to-back. But with that being said, I think this line's too wide. And I'm seeing plus 165 here over on Bet365 for the Colorado Avalanche. I think this number is way too wide. I believe this is Colorado's last game before the Four Nations face-off. The Oilers, I want to say they play tomorrow. Let me get up the matchup here over on covers. Let's go ahead and do that. For the Oilers, this is their last game before the Four Nations. So it's both teams' last game before the Four Nations tournament. And I'm going to take a shot here at plus 165 with the Colorado Avalanche. I just think the risk reward is worth it there. To take a shot at the big dog here at Colorado. I think this number's too wide. So a slate that I thought was going to be pretty bad. I mean, I'm going to have 3 plays on it. So Avalanche plus 165 for me in this game. Heavy over here. Oilers just as Avs. There you go. Martin Necas assist. Lincoln in goal. All right. Final game of the card. I did make a move on this game here. The Dallas Stars and the LA Kings. So you could pick them minus 110 range for the Kings, total 5.5 in this game. I do have this game projected Kings minus 110, so I thought the line was correct. I have this game projected for 6.43 goals, so I thought this line should be a 6, maybe even a 6.5, and we're seeing 5.5s. So that's kind of interesting to see there. Both these teams offensively have kind of woken up as of late. There's one thing I did notice a little bit. The Kings, after being shut out in back-to-back games, have followed that up with 4 and 6 goals in their last 2 games. So this is a Kings team that's now scored 10 goals in the last 2 games. On the flip side, we have the Dallas Stars, who previous to their last game, which was a 2-1 loss against the Anaheim Ducks, had won 5 in a row, scoring at least 4 goals in 4 of those games, 5-3, 5-3, 4-3, 2-0, 4-3. So this is a Kings team that's been putting up goals. It's a Stars team the Stars team that previous to that Ducks game had been putting up goals. The Kings do get the Ducks tomorrow, and the Stars get the Sharks tomorrow. So both these teams have one more game before the Four Nations face-off. I'm on the over 5.5. I think this number is just too low in this spot here, and I see value on the over in this one. So that'll conclude my card here in the NHL. The over 5.5. I got that at even money last night over on Bovada. Draisaitl assists has 24 assists in 25 games versus the Avs. Wow. Yeah. Kings money line. They play better at home. They do. But that is everything for today's card. If you guys have not already, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we are live here. If you guys are watching elsewhere, I know right now we're streaming on 6 different areas. There's 27 people watching on the Winners and Whiners Twitter page, 12 on Tim's Twitter page. If you guys have not subscribed to the Earle Sports Bets channel, please if you feel like it, please do so. And then there's 4 watching on Picks and Parleys, 1 on Winners and Whiners YouTube page. If you guys have not already subscribed to the Earle Sports Bets channel, please do. And then hockey, what's good? Picks from Dave, what's good? But that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place tomorrow for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, everyone.